Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome to my YouTube channel, Rebecca's Wild Side. This video is going to be what I knit in a week. I have no idea how much I knit over 7 days. I have a rough idea of how much I can get done, but it'll be really interesting to see what actually happens. I'm not going to push myself any more than usual, and this week's pretty calm, so I thought it was a good week to do it. Next week is hectic, so if I wanted to film this video, it would have had to have been this week, or it definitely wouldn't have gotten done. Please keep in mind to not compare yourself to the amount of knitting I get done. It might be more, it might be less than you. I have no idea how much the average knitter does. I don't think I'm a particularly slow knitter, but I also don't think I'm particularly fast. And as I said, I've got a pretty quiet week this week, so hopefully I should be able to get a decent amount done. I will just start this video with showing you what I've kind of got on the needles and plan to work on this week, and like a rough idea of what I want to get done. And then at the end of every day, I will update you on what I've done that day. And hopefully after 7 days, I'll have plenty to show you. And I've got some real progress done on many of my projects. I have moved the angle of my camera a tiny bit compared to normal, just because the natural light is so intense where I sit. I sit under like a skylight, and I just thought this was a little bit nicer. Although I do most of my knitting in the chair at the back of the room, and it is quite dark. So yeah, I might have to move this week just to make it more pleasant for you to view. But I will start with kind of what I have on the needles and what the aim is for this, what the aim to get done this week is. Glasses are also on, so if you see yourself in the reflection, I apologise. Yeah, it just happens with glasses sometimes. So my number one priority this week and over the next couple of days is to finish my mum's Celeste pullover. I have completed both of the sleeves. I think in the last podcast episode I only had one sleeve completed, but I managed to get that second one done, and that is like a big motivator for me because I don't like knitting the sleeves, and once they're done then I can just finish the body. I have started ribbing. Now I know it looks really short, and in a way it is, but I'm gonna do a really big chunk of ribbing. For this exact design, this isn't in the pattern, but for this exact pullover, I don't know if it's what I would do, but it was something that my mum requested. I have triple checked with her and it's definitely what she wants. So we're going to do loads of ribbing, and hopefully I'll get this done by at some point tomorrow. That is the first plan, to finish this week. A little side goal which might happen this week is to sort out my stash. It is pretty random at the moment. It was really good 3 months ago when I started it, and now with the new additions, and I just have been in a rush pulling things out before I went traveling, that it's got a little bit messy. So I'm just going to go through that. I'll probably do an update in this video of what's in my stash, so I will stick a timestamp here if you just want to go and watch that little section. I have some very sad news. So this is something I was going to mention in the podcast episode, but it is relevant, so I will bring it up now. Well, it's not very sad, gosh, no, don't worry, nobody's died. My Mist Sketch pullover by Florence Miller was completely off gauge, and I continued to work on it thinking that it would just block out and that I would just get over it. But I lost motivation to work on it because of that, because when I was trying it on, it was really bunching up around the shoulders. I will insert a photograph. I'm not sure how good the photographs are going to be, so that did get frogged. But now I am re-inspired. Now that that's done, I'm re-inspired to work up something really cool using the yarn I got from it. So I did wind it up with the mohair and the merino together, because that's how it was when I frogged it. And there is absolutely no chance that I am splitting the mohair and the merino. So I have a fair bit of that and the ice blue. So that's the Dusty Dove blue and the ice blue. One of my goals this week is to find a pattern for it. I'm not sure if I'm going to cast on. Knowing me, I will, because I will get impatient. Although I do have other things to work on. So the next mini project I have to work on is a new cast on. It is a mohair, oh, it's trapped in my bag. It is just a plain stockinette vanilla mohair sock. I have done the heel. I am decreasing the gusset now. This is knit up in our Weta classic pink colour and some leftover kid silk mohair from Drops. And it's just kind of keeping me going because it's a small project. I can't take my Celeste pullover everywhere because it is really getting to a full-sized jumper now. The aim is to finish one of those socks soon. Definitely this week. It'll just get worked on when I have a bit of time. The two other big projects I have on the needles. I have my Sonia sweater by Petite Knit, which was a recent cast on. Where was I going with this? I'm just working in the round. This was supposed to be for Ed. It might still be. If not, it's going to be super oversized, but it is going to have to be bigger, so there's going to be a lot of knitting on that. I think I'd like to work on that definitely at some point this week. And then my final thing I have on the needles, I haven't shown for a very long time. It's not in here. Oh, it fell out. I haven't shown for a very long time because I just haven't worked on it, but not for not loving it. It's just something I put to the side for a while, and that is my red. Oh, it looks very red in this lighting. But yes, this is my champagne cardigan by Petite Knit. And yeah, I hope to get back into working on this. So that is it for what I'll be working on, and I will update you later today on what I get done. Today is Saturday, and originally I said I was going to update you every evening. I've changed my mind. I'm going to update you in the mornings because it just makes a lot more sense to me. And yes, so yesterday I got a really good amount of ribbing done on my Celeste jumper. So I probably think I have 2 or 3 more inches to go. That is the plan. I'll try it on at some point and hopefully get that done this morning. Yesterday I ended up doing more work than I expected, and then it just pushed into the evening, but I did have some time while I was cooking dinner. So while I was cooking dinner, I actually worked on my sock. I finished the gusset decreases. I'm probably only a couple of centimeters away from starting the toe on that. I'm not sure if that's going to get done today. And then the other thing I did yesterday, I only really did like 8 rows or something, was work on my champagne cardigan, but I am nearly done with the sleeve and body increases. So then I just have a couple of body increases to do, and then I think it's time to start just working on the body, which will be a lot quicker. So I've actually moved my work schedule forward. So today I'm gonna have to take some time off to do some filming of other stuff, which is totally fine. It's Saturday, so I'm gonna have plenty of time anyway to do lots of knitting. And yeah, hopefully I can get that Celeste jumper, finish the ribbing and bound off. I definitely feel like I overestimated just how much ribbing I had to do today. I've probably done another inch, but my hands are just getting a little bit sore and I just need like a mini refresher. I had a little scroll in bed last night and came across, I think it's called the Braemar sweater by Coco Amore Knitwear. I can't remember what her name is. I've said it before. But it is just like an oversized V-neck sweater, but I think it would be the perfect thing to knit up in my knitting for Olive. For this, I am going to knit a gauge swatch, and that is something I'm just going to do now. I'm not planning on casting it on today, probably not even until middle or later next week. Oh, it's a bit squishy this morning.
Oh dear. Nice.
Peanut butter on its own is very dry. Good morning, guys. So it is Sunday. Last night I finished my mum's Celeste pullover, which was amazing, and it's currently blocking, and I've pulled it. Hold on a second, Ed, look at that bird. The branch, there's like a grey tail.
Yeah, I see it, it's a big pigeon.
Oh, I thought it was a big bird. I thought it was a cool bird. Not that pigeons aren't cool. So yeah, it's blocking and I'm pulling it to try and like stretch it because I really want it to be long enough, but I could not do any more 1x1 rib. I don't know. Mum will have to love it or lump it, we'll see. But I also, in the evening, finished my pink fluffy sock. Today, I've got to decide what I do. I think I'm gonna take my Sonia sweater out because I'm just knitting in the round. Although it's 3 balls of yarn, they are wound up together. It's just knitting in the round, so with what I'm doing this morning, that should be fine. And then I've got the whole of the day, because you're out, aren't you? Well, I have plenty of day to do lots of knitting, so yay! After I've done my grocery shopping. quite a bit later in the afternoon now. I got carried away with editing, but at church this morning I was working on the Sonia sweater. Yeah, it's going really well. I did just try it on Ed and it is too small for him, and even with blocking, it's just, I can tell it's gonna be too tight and not the fit that I want it to be, or he wants it to be. So I think it'll be pretty perfect for me. While I was in town, I got the second book of that series I was reading. I mentioned it in a podcast a while ago, and I explained that I was really not enjoying the first book. And it took me until the last oh my gosh. It took me until probably the last third of the book to really get into it. And then like when you get to the end, I'm like, oh, now I need to read the next one. So I wasn't gonna read the trilogy, but I got both of them. So this one was cheaper than the hardback was cheaper than the standard book. So I picked those up. Oliver Bonas was having a sale and this was on sale and it was so cute. So I thought I had to have it because it wasn't actually too expensive. Although I didn't try it on in the sale, so I have no idea what it looks like. But these annoying bits of hair which I got cut, it feels like the answer to my annoying hair bits. Something I forgot to mention was I've just got to the end of the ball. Did you think I was talking to you? Yeah. When I do this much and I get to in the round, when I finish the ball in the round, I like to start on the sleeves straight away because I don't like to knit the sleeves with like a really heavy body on it. I think it's quite common that people do that. So what I have to do now is I have to pick up 4 sleeves, and I can't decide if I'm going to do that now or if I'm going to go and work on my champagne cardigan. This is quite possibly the worst filming angle that I could find. I did film this on my other camera, but the lens was quite wide, and obviously I'm in my car and I was a little bit concerned about giving too much of my location away. I know that sounds silly maybe, but anyway. So it is Monday. Yesterday I worked on my Sonia sweater in the morning and I got to the point where I was about to split for sleeves. No, sorry, I was about to pick up sleeves, but I thought instead of starting that, I would work on my champagne cardigan a fair bit. So I got quite a bit of work done on that in the evening. And I'm at the point now where I have finished the sleeve increases and I've only got a handful of rows with body increases to do before I think I split for sleeves. I've never made a cardigan before, and I haven't read ahead in the pattern, so I'm just assuming at that point it will be time. One thing about, I'm hoping that was a well-timed fall. One thing I've noticed about this project is just how much yarn it eats up. So I have quite a lot to do today, but I have brought 1 extra skein of yarn with me, and then as a backup I have my new cast on project, the Braemar sweater, so that might get worked on as well. But I will update you later and see what I get done. Today is Wednesday, so I didn't do an update yesterday and I didn't have any footage from yesterday or the day before. That is because I just had a million things thrown at me, and actually good things, so I'm not complaining, but it just meant that I didn't have time to film. I also didn't have a lot of time to knit, so there wouldn't have been a whole lot to update you on anyway. So I think the last time I saw you, I was just about to split for sleeves with my champagne cardigan, and it happened. I don't know why it sounded like I was about to say but. There is no but. It happened. And yeah, I am working on the body. It's a lot easier now because obviously there's a lot less stitches, but it is still taking a fair bit of time. I have a concern. I have measured it and it is measuring just like under gauge, which would make sense because it's not blocked. But I am knitting the smallest size and I've tried it over my shoulders and it's quite large. But then I was looking at the pattern and it is kind of an oversized cardigan. So yeah, I am having second thoughts about this. It's not to do with the pattern because I really like it. And I am enjoying it. It is, I don't think cardigans are going to be my thing to knit, but I really want to do one. So, and I am telling myself, don't frog it. And the reason, if I was to frog it, I want mohair in there. I know it's such a, some people love it, some people hate it. I go through stages, and I don't know if it's because I just finished another Celeste pullover in the same yarn, which is just straight up drops Lima with no mohair. And this is the same. And I'm knitting it and I just wish it was fluffy. But in the spring, when I want to wear it, I probably won't be thinking that. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm just hoping that it doesn't look schoolish. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm gonna keep going for a bit. I think it's fine. And I think it'll be a really nice layering piece and a bit of a statement because of the colour. But do you know, I've been watching Call the Midwife, which is a British programme, but if you know, you know. And they wear these red cardigans. And every time I look at this, I'm like, oh, which is not bad. Like, I think it's so cute, but like uniformy, like schoolish. I'm sure I'll get plenty of use out of it, but I really want to put lots of love into it because it is taking a lot of work. Felt like I needed a break from that because I just cast off the Celeste and it was in the same yarn. And as I said, I'm dying for some mohair. So I did cast on my Braemar sweater, which I've been working on, and it's just, I think from what I can see so far, it's just a drop down sweater, but the stitch pattern, it is stunning. It's kind of like a waffle stitch, but I haven't done a waffle stitch, but I don't think it's the same. So all I've done, this is the front, is this much of the back panel, and I really enjoy doing this stitch. I'm gonna take back everything I said about knitting for olive yarn. If you watched my podcast episodes, I wasn't very nice about it. No, it's not that I wasn't very nice, I just wasn't convinced, and now I'm convinced, and it's because I needed to do a texture. This is just satisfying all my mohair needs. The gauge is perfect. So nice, it's so squishy because it's got some slip stitches in there. It's super nice, like big fan of working on this. So I am giving this a lot of love at the moment. I know, but I did finish my Celeste pullover, so I feel like I'm allowed to cast something new on. And I'm getting good progress on my other ones. It's not like they're all on ice. So yeah, this is just really mentally doing it for me at the moment. After the last couple of days, I've like really needed something like this. So it's been a really nice piece to work on. But that's all I've done in the last couple of days. I think I'm gonna work on both of these pieces today. Not sure if I'm gonna get any work done on my Sonia sweater, we'll see. I'm not taking back what I just said, but I said I wasn't sure if I was gonna work on my Sonia sweater, and I've just thought about it. I am going to do the collar on it, and that is because once the collar is on, and I'm at a point where I can now, I know that it looks better. I really enjoy, first of all, I enjoy doing collars, but second of all, I think it's really important to get the collar done because it makes the piece look more finished, and that is what I'm gonna do right now. today is the final day. It is Thursday, and I started this on a Friday, so I will film today and give you a final update tomorrow morning. But yeah, for my final day today, so I'll go through what I did yesterday. That's not the right bag. I just did the collar on my Sonia sweater, and I'm slightly concerned with the amount of stitches I picked up because it's doing that thing. I think I might block it like this because then I can decide what I'm going to do before continuing. And then the only other thing I managed to do yesterday was work on my back panel Braemar sweater. And this is just so therapeutic, as I said yesterday. I think I've got the right number of rows, and then I can start the front piece. But I'm not going to do that today. Today I'm going to just work flat out on my champagne cardigan. It's a bit weird having 3 projects going at once on the needles, but it'll pay off in the end, and I am finishing things, so I'm not too worried. So I am going up to London today, so I've got a good few hours of public transport knitting. I didn't do anything on this yesterday, so I don't know why I'm showing you, because it's the same. But I'm just going to work on the body, and hopefully, yeah, we'll get a decent chunk done on the trains. I'm deciding today whether to film my stash video, my 2024 stash update, so I might spend some time doing that. But yeah, I'll update you tomorrow on the champagne cardigan, and then we'll look at everything I've done this week. So I made it through filming a week of knitting for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I like to think I got a fair amount of knitting done looking back on it. At first glance, I feel like I didn't get that much done, but then I really think about what I finished and how much work I did get done, and I did. But I think what I'm trying to say is because I have so many projects on the needles and I'm working on all of them, the progress doesn't feel as obvious. It'll be really interesting when I have a bunch of finished objects come all at once. I'm going to apologise now, I didn't leave myself enough time to finish this video, so I am in a rush, but hopefully I can still go through everything and give you a decent understanding of what I got done. Yeah, what did I get done this week? I will start with finishing my mum's Celeste pullover. This was really fun. It was my second time knitting the project, and she loved it, and I've seen her a couple of times and she's been wearing it, so that's really, like, it's a real fulfilling moment when you've made something for someone and they actually appreciate it and enjoy it. And she's not just being nice, because my mum wouldn't wear something that she doesn't love. When I started that at the beginning of this week, it was missing a sleeve and all the ribbing, and there was a lot of ribbing. I did get to work on that mainly over the weekend, which is why I got so much work done over those couple of days. And then I did finish my pink mohair sock quickly after that. I do have to cast on the second one, and I'm still motivated to do that, so that's a good sign. So hopefully that'll get done very soon. I got a really good amount of work done on my champagne cardigan. I found this quite daunting to work on, so I'm really glad I picked it up and did it. I wasn't even halfway through the yoke, and now I'm just working on the body. That'll be a really fun thing to finish, and once I finish the body, I'm going to do the double knit button band, because then that's done, and then I only have to do the sleeves knitting in the round, and I know I really enjoy that. So I'm looking forward to working on that a bit more. I really hope I have enough yarn to finish that project. Because it's a red, I feel like there would be a lot of variation between dye lots, so I'm really hoping I don't have to order more yarn for that. I picked up and finished the collar on my Sonia sweater. I also got some extra rows done on the body. This is fun. I think the neckline, although it looks a little bit loose here or there's too many stitches, it looks really good on and it flattens out, and I think with blocking as well that'll make a huge difference. And then last but not least, I did manage to cast on my Braemar sweater. I started the back panel and I'm really motivated and inspired to work on that after I finish the body of the champagne cardigan. So I think what I learned most this week was that I do have a lot of projects on the needles. I went from being a very monogamous knitter to having a lot of projects, and I do think that the podcast and YouTube in general influenced that. But I just have to remember that I am making progress, objects are getting finished, garments are getting finished, and there will come a point where I have a lot of finished objects, especially as I'm giving them a lot of time at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. I think going into spring and summer, I will try and become more of a monogamous knitter again, just because I really want to be able to get really excited about working on a project. I find myself getting really excited to work on something, and then as soon as I get into it, I feel guilty that I'm not giving my other whips enough love. So that'll be something that I'll probably lean into after this collection of whips. So I hope this week hasn't been too boring for you. I had a lot of stuff come up that I didn't expect, but I did have time in the early mornings and evenings to do some knitting, so I really hope you enjoyed it. The next couple of videos that come out will be a stash video. That's going to be a video on its own because I was going through my stash yesterday and there was a lot of yarn to get through, and I'm actually really excited about it. So that'll be coming out very soon. And then after that will be a podcast episode, and I'm sure you will see plenty of the things that you saw this week in the podcast episode. I'm hoping for it to be in the next 10 days, so hopefully there should be some even more work done on my whips. Let me know if you enjoyed this video by leaving a comment below and giving it a like. If you want to see more of me and my knitting videos, please feel free to subscribe. In future podcast episodes or knit and chat videos, I will be touching on growing this channel into more than just a knitting channel. And I know some people love it, some people hate it, but I really want to be able to share more of my life. I'm currently in the process of deciding how much of my personal life I want to share with you guys. So there'll be more on that in future videos. Hopefully I will see you guys in the next video, and until then I wish you plenty of happy knitting. Bye guys.